Welcome to Frank, the show where all the stories are true stories, told with frank honesty and lots of laughs. All the guests, members of the Groucho Marx Mask Appreciation Society, and all the props forged by the hobbits in the fires of Mordor. My name is Kat Davidson, and I'll be your Bilbo Baggins through the wonderful worlds of these talented and fearless guests. Today's show is Tales from the Crypt, things that are spookier than a spiderweb on a pumpkin. My guests are 612 ABC Brisbane stars Richard Fidler and Kelly Higgins-Devine. What else do they both have in common? Both should never be taken on at Trivial Pursuit. Both have the looks of a matinee idol and the moral fibre of a Hollywood starlet. Richard Fidler can be heard all over the country, except in Victoria as host of Conversations. A protest was planned recently in Melbourne's Federation Square to have Richard's program broadcast daily, but sadly the protesters caught a whiff of good coffee and slunk off down a laneway to get at it. We fell in love with him as a Doug Anthony All-Star, raced around the world with him and cheered when he moved to Brisbane 9 long years ago. Richard, hello.
Hello, Kat. It's lovely to be on this program. Your graphics are gorgeous. You're gorgeous. Oh, man, I'm so envious. Radio feels so lame when I'm in this room with you.
Oh, Richard, it's brightened with you in it. And next to you, of course, Kelly Higgins-Devine is the host of 612 ABC Brisbane's Afternoons program. She was the calming presence and protective spirit on air during the 2011 Brisbane floods and Cyclone Yasi, and her laugh is the single best way to get through a Brisbane afternoon. She's a mad keen Lions fan, so much so that she recently impersonated an actual lion and tried to bite Daniel Merritt. Kelly, welcome.
He asked for it. Hasn't been a good season. But go Lions, 2015 looking good.
Are you still a big fan even when they don't play well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You don't just dump your team. It's such a Queensland thing to do. It is.
Would you be their actual lion if they needed one?
Well, yes, there was talk, and I was actually just about to sign the contract to be the live lion that they were going to take around the ground until, those advocates of live animals decided to interfere with what was looking good.
Bleeding hearts.
Yeah, that's right.
She was holding out for her own personalised motor scooter as well.
Yes, indeed. And raw meat every day.
Now, Richard, the title of today's show is Tales from the Crypt. It's a spooky show that we have. Are you usually a superstitious man?
No, not at all. In fact, spooky things don't happen to me, but they do happen to my wife when I'm in her presence occasionally, but they do happen to her. She doesn't believe in ghosts and neither do I, but we've got these ghost stories that have attached themselves to us. And she always seems to know just what to do in the situation, whereas I'm completely flabbergasted.
That's a mum thing.
Is it?
Yeah, I think as soon as you birth a child, suddenly you just ghosts, spiders, glad wrap, got them all sorted.
She knows. Well, this is before we had children, so maybe this is, I don't know. She comes from a kind of slightly spooky family, Kim does, the Chinese Singaporeans. She has an uncle who, to be perfectly blunt, sees dead people.
Oh.
Yes.
Sensational.
Yes, and this guy is not a crank. He's kind of like, an Asian Ned Flanders. He's that conservative, living in the burbs of Melbourne. Really nice guy, mows his lawn, regular job, all that kind of thing, but has this strange thing going on. And Kim's mum will have this thing sometimes. In the past, there's been a knock at the door. Kim's mum goes to answer it, and when she does, there's no one there, and she goes, "Oh, someone's died," and they always have.
What about you, Kelly Higgins-Devine?
Yeah, my family's pretty spooky. Here's something you may not know. I used to read tarot cards in my 20s.
Get out of town.
And I was really good at it. Yeah. I haven't read them in ages.
Did you actually think you were telling the truth as you saw it?
I never felt I was lying or scamming because I never took money for it. So there was nothing in it for me. So, so I could do that. And as I say, I haven't done it in ages. But I've got one of those families too where people will, like my nephews and nieces, will have looked over when they were younger and gone, "Who's that person walking through the lounge room?" And well, we don't know because there's no one there. And then they'll see a photo and go, "That was the lady who walked through the lounge room," and it'll have been my grandmother or, some deceased relative. So, and I have another relative who sees dead people. So it's there, yeah. But once again, I'm not a big ghost person either. It doesn't seem to happen to me.
No.
What actually scares you, Richard?
Oh.
What actually scares me? Oh, everything. Everything. I'm scared all the time. I'm a naturally anxious person. I hate getting on a plane. Never mind ghosts. Getting on a plane terrifies me most of the time. Intense heights, walking up to the edge of a cliff, that kind of thing. Yes, modern life terrifies me. It's a wonder I'm even here today, Kat.
So if you had the choice between having a conversation, perhaps doing a Conversations with Richard Fidler with a ghost, and taking a plane ride.
To get there, to do it.
To get there to do it, where would you sit on that?
I'd be sitting, I think, under my bed is where I'd be sitting, terrified on both occasions.
And you're both parents. Do you tell ghost stories to your children?
No.
No, God, no. I like to get a good night's sleep. I don't want my kids sort of arriving in the bedroom in the middle of the night going, I'm scared.
Yeah. You don't want to torment them, not unless they've earned it.
No.
In which case, why not? But no, not normally. And fairy tales are scary enough.
Most creative institutions are reputed to be haunted. Does the ABC have its ghosts?
It's got its skeletons.
And there are a lot of Walking Dead.
A few vampires.
Yes, that's right.
Maybe a werewolf or two.
Bloodsuckers.
On the upper floors.
Monsters.
Lefties.
Zombies.
Not so much ghosts though. Sometimes ghosts of presenters past come up to haunt you.
And go, you're sitting there working at your desk, you get a tap on the shoulder. I used to present afternoons in the 70s.
And you're doing it wrong.
Right.
My name's Kat Davidson. The program is called Frank. My guests today, Richard Fidler and Kelly Higgins-Devine. When we come back after the break, we find out what truly spooked young Richard.